Well, hello there guys, Agrippa Max NAS here, and currently I'm actually playing one of my cards here on the 18th Army. This is actually going to give us a bit more artillery assets for our attack on Riga. I'm hoping that this is going to assist us. I think it should, but it might take a few days for this to actually get to us. Now I want to see if we have any siege artillery to start attacking Riga as well. I'm not sure if we can play the card on the same hex. Probably not, so let's go ahead and get started on our attacks. We've already done a few attacks here against the forces at Riga, but we could probably carry out a few more. So let's make sure that we have the correct area to attack, the correct spot, hex, whatever you want to call it. So we've already attacked up here in the north, and that's going to make it a little bit harder for us to start attacking here this turn. I'm still going to take a look over here and see if there's any units we could actually hit. I'm pretty sure that last turn we went ahead and attacked them. Let's see. That's more like it. Okay, so I'm going to first send in some infantry divisions right here, guys, just to break through this first line of defenders. Glorious. And they're actually retreating, which means that we can probably move into this area. I can't read it. Daugavis? I can't see the damn thing fairly soon. So I'm going to go ahead and actually grab the units that can move in there, and we are going to go ahead and start overwhelming the defenses of the enemy. I also want to attack this tank unit. Nothing makes me happier than destroying an enemy tank unit, and actually I'm going to send in my infantry because I want to see if I can get my tank behind the enemy and consequently behind the forces here at Riga. Not bad. We got them to retreat. Alright, it's a start. So I'm going to take the tank unit here, and it looks like, yes, we can definitely get behind the enemy. We've cut them off a little bit, but they still have a nice railroad coming into Riga. So unless we can get past that, we're not going to be of much assistance with that particular attack. That's alright, though. We have plenty of other things we can do. Let's move back a little bit. And it looks like in the center, we're doing really, really well. Let's see what we can do about this. I don't know how this is going to go. We'll find out. Nice. We got one of them to panic, and the rest of them actually retreated from the battlefield. Always like to do damage to their armor units. And I just want to see how far out we are right now. The hell is this? Go away. There we go. From Moscow itself. And actually, wow, that's interesting, guys. We're actually pretty close, but, you know, close but no cigar type thing. I feel like we're close, but I also feel like we're really far from actually getting there. It seems a lot closer than it actually is. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do some serious damage to these troops that are bunched up here to the west of Mogilev, and I think we can actually get a pretty tremendous attack going. I want to try not to use all of my tank units, but I do want to make this a really beefy stack if I can. So let's try this, and that's 5 units hitting the enemy defenses here. Not bad. We ordered a lot of the units to retreat. We could still keep moving forward, or I could just continue the attack over here, which I think is what I'm going to do. And we're just going to knock these guys back. Just a huge swing on their lines. Anything we have to do to force them to retreat. And of course, it's much more effective if we actually get to their general units, but I don't actually see many of their general units, which is probably good news for us. It probably means that their general units are way too far back to either give them reinforcements or they're in these stacks ahead of us. So we need to keep hitting these stacks ahead of us as much as possible. Look at all of the infantry units we could send. And actually over here, it doesn't look like the stack could be too high, so I'm just going to send in 3 infantry units to attack. 3 on 3. But we have better odds, better technology, better equipment, and more of a will to fight. At least that's what the Nazi propaganda films tell us, right? We need to trust them sometimes. So here we go. We're going to attack once again. Got a lot of them to retreat, and we'll hit them again. So now they're still taking hits, but definitely not nearly as many as we initially wanted them to. You know, before they were taking so many hits that they would retreat every single attack. Now, not so much, which is a little concerning. I'm going to be moving this unit back because we're just not getting any fuel. And without fuel, it really doesn't help. But we're still going to keep trying to attack this area, so let's keep moving forward. More men on the front lines! If you are not on the front lines, you are a coward. True that. Alright, here we go. Moving a lot more units up. Look at this, guys. Look at what they have defending here. We've got to be able to go over 200. Really? Okay, I guess we have to stick to 200 here on attack power. It just means we're going to be able to hit them twice, but that's really annoying. And there we go. Look at all those units retreating. They are definitely going to pull back. We're going to use the remaining attack power of these units to hit this unit right here. Why the hell not? Overwhelm this poor guy. And consequently, we're slowly retaking this beautiful railroad. So this is actually working out for us in more ways than one. Keep moving. Go, Mena. And we also have an SS unit here, so I'm going to try to break through with the SS unit. There are a huge amount of targets here, so yeah, we're not going to be able to attack there. What about this area? So we can actually hit the guy with 3 units here in this area, and I think anything we can do to keep the enemy on a retreat is going to be a bonus. If we can keep the enemy retreating, then clearly we are controlling the battlefield. Here we go. Oh, yes. There's an enemy tank in this hex, but I think we're going to break through. Nice. Once again, guys, we succeeded in making the enemy retreat. We just need to make sure that this supply route stays open, because if it doesn't, it's not going to matter if we make them retreat. We're not going to be able to push forward eventually, and I hope that doesn't happen, but it certainly could happen. Just make sure that our units here in Minsk are prepared for a major offensive, because we're going to be shooting right up the center. Actually, some people mentioned not to go up the center, because there are probably defensive armies in this location. I don't know if we're going to follow that advice. I think we might go ahead and continue stubbornly through the center. Look at that. Their general unit is behind Mogilev. So if we can break through here, I mean, it's going to be incredible. I'm actually going to go ahead and take a risk here. I'm going to attack with 4 units against this huge amount of Soviet forces. And you know what? We still managed to make most of them retreat, taking little to no damage on our own. So that's actually working out really well. I'll see if we can get a few more guys to jump in here and attack. And if not, you know what? I'll accept that and keep on moving. Not bad at all. Any more attacks, guys? Come on. One more. One more. You can do it. No, you can't. You bastards. We only have so many action points. We must destroy these damn Ruskies. It's definitely time to move the guys up from Tarnov. And I want to see where we're going. Yeah, we're going straight for Kiev. And, of course, there's going to be major defenses, but I would love to take Kiev. Then we can push up from the south towards Moscow. And if we're pushing from the west and the south, I mean, it's going to be 2 different armies attacking that area. That's got to be useful, guys. Now, once again, I'm going to try to hit their general unit. I see the general unit right there in front of us. So I want to see if we can hit him with a tremendous amount of force. I love seeing all of these units. It looks like our men have definitely gotten the needed reinforcements, the much-needed reinforcements. Let's go ahead and hit this unit right here. Yes, we attack you with everything! Alright, maybe we will keep 1 unit back. And let's see how this goes. Beautiful. It's 1 general back. I hope our Romanian troops are ready to attack here. I don't think they're going to stand up very well against the Russians, though. And indeed, they didn't. In fact, our Romanians were the ones to retreat. That's definitely not an army that I can do much with. I think I'm just going to try to hold the line. We also need to make sure to take a look at our finish line, because the enemy is surprisingly doing a lot of damage to us there. I didn't expect that at all. Let's attack. Only our Germans are participating in this attack, and of course the enemy's going to be pulling back. Would love to take Odessa here from the enemy, but I imagine they're going to defend it to the very end. Odessa is definitely an oil-bearing area, and if we can take this, I think we're going to cut the Russian oil reserves pretty significantly. So let's go ahead and hit this guy with everything we can. 193 to 200. Oh, come on. Can't we go to 300? You bastards. That's all right. If they don't retreat, we'll attack them twice. They're not retreating. I guess we have to go again. Forward, man, and now we move in the Romanian Armored Division. It sounds weird, doesn't it? Attack. See, this is what I'm talking about. Odessa is well defended. At this point, we're just going to go crazy. Unbelievable, guys. So these guys are defending Odessa extraordinarily well. I'm going to try to break through the north of the city with the rest of the units. 3 Romanian and 1 German unit. The German unit's definitely going to help the Romanian unit fight. And they're going to retreat, but they might retreat back into Odessa. That's exactly what they did. And it's going to take a while for us to take this area. I think we're going to have to cut the railroad off over here to the north, and then we should be able to break through fairly easily. But this has been a tough fight. I kind of expected it to be that way. Alright. Put the bot over here. Ah. Once again, we don't discriminate with our attacks. We want to crush these guys once and for all, and sometimes you got to send everybody in to do that. So that's exactly what we are doing. Look at all this infantry. I want to see if we can get rid of this armor. Alright, that's acceptable. Actually, let's get it to 243. Getting rid of Soviet generals and armor, I think, is my main goal. I'm not worried about their infantry. We can deal with that. I mean, there are a lot of them, but we have the technology. We also have a lot of extremely elite units, and these guys are going to crush the Russians ahead of us. So if we can keep up these attacks, I'm not really concerned about that. Let's keep moving forward. Our men fight like lions. We must win. Well, obviously. Here we go. I'm gonna hit that guy again near Rovno. He doesn't know when to retreat. So let's send in our Romanian cavalry and some infantry units. In fact, we could have attacked with more. Let's go ahead and go full force on this guy. See if we can eliminate this unit entirely. I know it's not a great idea to attack one unit with a bunch of single units, but in this case, I want to see if we can eliminate that guy, and if not, he's going to be on my death list for the next turn. Keep moving. Can hit this guy at all? No, I'm not going to hit him with that poor Romanian unit. He's not going to do very well. Definitely. Here we go, guys. We've got an opportunity to push through with an attack. Good work, men! These guys are holding a very narrow railway passage. So this should probably be a goal of ours, is making it through to that railway passage, even if we have to break through with our Romanians. So in other words, my goal might just be to get through with one of these Romanian units without engaging in any combat and cutting the railroad to the south here. I think that's probably going to help us a lot. Now, before we end the turn, I want to make sure that we go up to our Finnish territories. First, I want to make sure I've done all my attacks. Pretty sure I have. Always good to check, especially in a game like this where each attack is actually quite important to your success. Let me get this general up a little bit more. This general's also not in a very good spot. It's going to hurt us next turn. Okay, so let's get up to the Finnish front. It definitely looks like the enemy's attacking here. I want to move our forces in, but I don't want to get into a fight or a protracted engagement with any of these men. So I'm going to try to see if I could possibly get to Petrovatsk and just cut it off, causing serious confusion amongst the enemy. But in the meantime, we may need to attack a little bit here and see how we do. I'm going to see how we're going to do against the Soviets here. And actually, we're forcing them to retreat, so we're not doing too badly. Now, this is the Winter War, but it's a bit too late for the Winter War. Nonetheless, our Finns are still more than willing to assist us in moving back this Bolshevik threat. So let's go ahead, attack. Good work. Enemy retreats again. Over here, I want to try to do an overwhelming attack as well. At this point, we're definitely fighting back. We just have to let the enemy know that we are willing to defend our territory. We're obviously not going to attack that tank unit, at least not now. But we're going to bring in a German to assist in attacking these infantry units. I actually want to keep this guy here. Well, let's take a look. 3 infantry units or 3 tank units. We might as well take a risk. Let's go and see what happens. I don't think this is going to end well. But remember, the Finns were great at destroying Soviet tanks, and it looks like they did the same here. Look at that. 3 enemy tank units retreating from the Vyborsk, and maybe we can actually take this city. That would be great. Look at that, guys. Very awesome. I think we still have 2 attacks as well. Our Finns have been training in Deutschland and getting some military advisement, I guess, from us, and we've definitely trained them well. Let's see if anything's going on up here. Now, these guys are totally cut off. It's the only reason I would accept this attack. Fall out. Yeah, look at that. They're panicked. They're retreating. It doesn't matter how many men you have in your unit if you've got no ammo and food. So they are scared, and we're probably going to push them over here and take this area fairly quickly. That being said, right now I just am looking at these relationships. Obviously, von Brauswitz, we need to improve that. But we've done a lot of different decisions. I'm going to look here. Oberleutnant Wilfried. There's a promising young officer on our headquarters staff, Oberleutnant Wilfried Kranz, whose behavior has deteriorated, excuse me, guys. He has for the last week been turning up in the morning unshaven and is often seen wearing a stained and soiled uniform. This is not the front line, and there is no need for him to exhibit such inattention to personal hygiene and appearance. It reflects poorly on us all. I have spoken to the man on several occasions to no avail. Normally, I would deal with lapses of discipline such as this in the normal course of events, but I feel that this situation has gone too far, and that a more severe form of action is warranted. I therefore bring it to your attention. I have asked Oberleutnant Wilfred to attach a written explanation of his behavior. Alright, I'm gonna assign him... Actually, let's have a quiet word. This is gonna give us too many chances of a bad outcome. Let's have a quiet word with him. Nice. Now, propaganda. Your staffer informed me that the following commander has been selected, Reichsminister Goebel, for propaganda purposes. It looks like... What are we, a circus? Surely the Reichsminister can find plenty of trained puppets back in the zone interior. Why does he have to bother us? Professional soldiers do not need to primp and preen themselves in front of a camera. They march and they fight. Refuse this nonsensical request. Well, I am trying to get good with the inner circle, and sadly, I'm going to have to go ahead and accept his suggestion, and we're going to approve the film crew. And actually, it looks like, well, it's Joseph Goebbels is going to enjoy that, so at least we've got Goebbels on our side. But right now, Goebbels is not in this string of people we have to worry about, which is interesting. Nonetheless, that's probably going to reflect well with Hitler, because Hitler is a big fan of Goebbels. And let's go ahead and do a truck refit as well. We will order a refit. It's going to be 12 pp. Arrangements will be put in place for a rolling overhaul. Very good. And I think that's all we need to do. Let's go ahead and end the turn, guys, and hope for the best. Von Richthofen really likes us. That's cool. Got some major movement over there at Leningrad. I wonder what's going on. Probably not very happy about our sudden Finnish counterattack, but it's certainly not going to be a victory unless we can get some reinforcements there in time. And as you can see right now, we had one of our tanks cut off. That's not going to help us at all in our Riga advance, but we're still going to keep moving forward. And if we can take Kiev, and ultimately if we can take Moscow, I think we're going to be just fine. So I'm not going to be too worried about Riga, but clearly that's a place we want to take, and quickly if we can. Come on, you damn Soviets, attack us! Just doing a lot of movement. They just keep restructuring their defensive line every single time. They get hit, they restructure. They get hit, they restructure, which is what they're supposed to do. But as you can see, they're sort of moving out all of the damaged units, putting in new units, and hopefully we have enough manpower and enough morale to keep the attack up until they have nothing left to defend against the Reich. Only miles away from Kiev, my friends. Yeah, that tank is screwed. Damn. Well, we had one tank division go a bit too far. So that's actually amazing. Not a single attack from them. Not one attack from them this turn. Not even in Finland. So it looks like they are definitely restructuring and preparing for a defense in this case. I can't see anything else there. Start turn. Radio intelligence indications that Timoshenko's HQ has been divided into two sections, whereby it may be expected that his personal influence will be felt on the right flank of agency and that of his C of S on the left flank. Well, shit. I thought that was going to be a good thing, but apparently it is not. Mobilization Wave 1 is formed up at High Command in Berlin. Replacements will be distributed to the front in due course. Guys, we've got more reinforcements. That's unbelievable. Over here, our theater artillery, siege artillery is sitting idle in Warsaw, so we probably want to use this card. And Alka Influences are actually really good at letting me know how to do this. So let's do that. We also need to give command focus to one of these armies, and then we can move forward. We asked the Gefreiter with the flamethrower what their life expectancy was. He didn't answer, but he looked haunted. Gefreiter Dietrich had heard that they are the most likely person to be shot by a sniper. They are so visible they have to stand a squirt and group up with a whoosh when shot. And go up with a whoosh. Thanks so much, mouse. Now, you guys can't see where the mouse is. It's right in between going up. Sometimes I find myself hallucinating about a warm bed with a soft mattress. Well, that's interesting. So clearly, the fight is getting more and more vicious. That's to be expected. We kind of knew that was going to happen, and now all we can do is try to still keep breaking through to Riga. Of course, like I always do, I'm going to try to still take Riga here before I end my turn, because I know we're all desperate to take this area. Here we go, 196. Damn, they are fighting hard. We will not surrender, though. I'm going to try to take Wiesnau first, because it's kind of annoying to have that army behind me. Yeah, you're damn straight that this one infantry unit can beat them all. Look at that. Broken. All prisoners! Good work, men. Alright, let's see if we can take Riga. We will attack with everything. No, we can only attack with a stack of 200 at a time, which is a little weird, if you ask me. But I'm not going to argue. This time we are attacking with everyone. Or at least with a larger stack, just to see if that makes a difference. Nope. In fact, it's just making our men retreat. It's amazing how strong these Riga defensive forces are. It really is. Fair enough. Well, we're going to have to come up with new ideas to take Riga. It is well defended here. And I think the only way through is going to be continuous attacks, but also some supporting cards. We already have the artillery supporting us here, but it doesn't seem to be enough. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. We will definitely come back for more later. We need to be careful, though. Look at this. The enemy is getting tank divisions, and it looks like these are reinforcing tank divisions that we have not seen yet on the battlefield. I hope that we haven't been too late, and I hope they're not getting reinforcements. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and have a glorious